What if the moments that broke you were the actually moments that were shaping you? What if your emotional cracks are not just scars, but a golden pathway to your highest, most confident self? Welcome to yet another episode of Reset and Rise, the podcast, the space where the healing meets transformation and every woman is reminded of her power to rise, rebuild, and reclaim her light. So I'm your host, Juhi Jethani, life coach, energy healer, Akashic, and tarot card reader. In this episode, which is truly very special for me, we are exploring the Kintsugi way, the turning your emotional cracks into the gold. A powerful reminder that our broken parts don't just make us less, they make us more. Just like a Japanese art of repairing the pottery with gold. We too can rise stronger, wiser, more radiant by embracing the pieces of ourselves we once tried to hide. And today, to help us dive into this beautiful journey, we have a very special guest, Delnna Rajesh, who is a psycho spiritual healer, Reiki healer, Akashic, and numerologist, and a hypnotherapist. Their story, insights, and wisdoms completely align and help, which will help us finding the strength, beauty, and purpose in place. So let's welcome today on this show Delna ma'am with us. Welcome, Delna ma'am.
Hi, Juhi. Thank you for having me on your show. And I know what a beautiful person you are, and it's a privilege to be on this show and share and chat up. So, yeah, let's get started.
Thank you so much, Delna ma'am, for your time and being with us here today. तो जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं कि woman carries a moment when her heart whispers it's enough. So what was your Kintsugi moment that changed the direction of your entire life?
I won't say there was any one particular moment where something happened. Because people who've gone through trauma, people who've gone through pain, they know it doesn't happen in attacks. It happens. It builds over slowly. Okay. So it wasn't any dramatic moment, any aha moment. It was like a constant silent inner whisper, telling me I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. I have to do something to change internally so that I can become what I want to see myself as externally. And this constant reminder came through my life. I was a timid child when I was in school. So, ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं ना जिनको कोई नोटिस ही नहीं करता. बहुत सारे ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं who are not the stars, who are not popular, who are not the heroes. I mean, they exist and they have their own little safe space. So I was one of those, and I would all through my school life wonder, why am I not the one? होता है ना ऐसे जिनकी गिनती ही नहीं होती. You're there, you're absent, doesn't matter. So I went through a school or childhood life like that, and I decided at some point of time, very slowly, that I wanted to break through and I wanted to become confident and I wanted to not shrink but shine. And that's where I started exploring different things. I started with the Rotaract Club of Mithibai, thinking, it'll help me elevate my personality. And then I, got into Reiki, which was an immensely beautiful, experience for me. I won't say it turned me into some confident, absolutely confident. It was not like an overnight transformation, but it built me from within, and I did make my breakthrough. And even the breakthrough was not like an aha moment. It was a slow process. It was an inward process, and it was a lot of inner work. Uh, but yes, all the healing modalities, including Reiki, helped me magnificently. uh, then again in 2007, I had an episode where, life happens, and I realized I hate depression. I didn't even know that term, when you're at a young age. But then I observed that there were things happening, and I was behaving in ways which I would not have, otherwise. And that was, I could say, a striking moment where another phase of my healing journey began. Now, from that confident person who was a little shattered, broken because of where life was. And then again, that was a time where I think I learned many, many, many modalities. I really worked on myself. I can say that maybe a couple of years of a hard look at yourself, and a lot of introspection and a lot of inner work and a lot of failures at it. And then you climb back. Anybody who's gone through the healing journey or is going through would understand what I'm saying. You try to build yourself and you fall, and you build yourself again and you fall, and you try again a new strategy and you fall, and eventually you're going to catch up. So I think that is where I learned, or the seed of the understanding of how the healing journey happens happened for me over a period of time, not a moment. And I had another third moment, which was the ultimate kickoff, where I was working in the corporate. My husband and I both with busy jobs, and my son, who was 1.5 year old, because of our extremely busy schedules, which you cannot explain. There are times when you want to be there, and as a mother, as a working mom, and you cannot explain also to the organization. So you're trying to juggle and balance and hoping someone understands, something happens. You're trying to sort of maximize and then minimize, and all of that failed and it crashed. And I got to know that my son hasn't smiled in 7 days, and I said, okay, this is not normal for a 1.5 year old. And we took him to the pediatrician, and he said, these are signs of borderline depression.
Oh, at such young age.
And as a mother, मेरे पैरों के नीचे से तो जमीन ही खिसक गई. I was shocked. I was, because as being in the healing space, and having understood this, as a mom, जितना मैं गर्भ संस्कार and Reiki and womb healing जितना मैं कर सकती थी, as an enthusiastic young mother, I had put my heart and my soul and everything into it. And yes, struggling with the balance was one of the areas, but this was you don't realize कि ऐसा हो भी सकता है, मेरे साथ हो रहा है. After all the work that I've done, to welcome this beautiful soul into my life. And that was it. I think in a week's time, I decided, I put my papers. uh, you know, uh, so my organization, they put me on they said, acha, part-time try karo, and then sabbatical try karo, and all of that. So we tried all of that, didn't work, and I put my papers, and that was it. And then I started learning. So बहुत सारे healing modalities करे थे, but I really started learning psychology, because now it was about my child, it was about my situation, it was about my home, my family, and it became personal.
Yes.
Uh, so I started learning, and I started applying, and I started practicing my Reiki with, I would say, double intention, more intensity, all of what I had learned back there in my healing journey. My child bounced back in 6 months. It was,
Wow.
I won't say it was the easiest path, but it was a challenge. It was, uh, quite a bit of work, but he did bounce back. And then I decided to take it slow. I decided to be there fully as the mother I wanted to be. And after that began my healing journey. So as my son would go to school, and the things I would do to help him, to nurture him, to build that beautiful relationship with him, I found that a lot of other moms started approaching me. कि आप ये कैसे कर रहे हो, आप वो कैसे कर रहे हो, how's your child coping with this, how's your child so balanced with all of this. So it sort of just happened that and then it Children don't suffer because of their own, they are very innocent and they don't have any background. So and I would tell the mothers that all this pain, all this aggression that's coming into your child, it's coming from you, it's coming from the parent, it's coming from the mother or the father, or maybe the little bit of sometimes we have chaos in the relationships around us, within the family. So, and that is where the deeper work with women started, because as we start recognizing that there is something within me because of which another innocent soul is going through what they are going through. That's where a lot of mothers, I would say, that's how it started for me, moms. And I started helping them understand themselves, understand, work with their own energy, and then work with the mother child, exercises energy transformation along with the child, involving children in that process of rebuilding the relationship and themselves. So, relationship with yourself and each other
Right.
together. So, that's how I would say, yeah, that's how my journey began. A very slow paced journey. And here I am today working with a lot of moms and now moms of teens, with teenagers, and yeah, it's been quite a bit.
Wow, your journey is really, really inspiring for every woman on this earth and every mom, because this is things that you have. It is not that we are doing our learning part, but healing ourselves, we are healing our child. And this truly matters because people are not aware about this fact that a healed mother has a healed son or a healed kids. So it's really important to heal ourselves first.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Delna ji, you work with thousands of women who are in toxic relationships. Why do you believe that emotional cracks are not the weakness, but very doorway to rebirth?
Okay. Uh, I really strongly believe I've worked with so many women, and over a period of time, including my journey, when I sat down and I introspect, when I look back at my life, uh, the one thing I understood is that, you know, our cracks, our brokenness, our pain, our trauma, okay, uh, they talk to us, they tell us a lot, they reveal our truth, they reveal our story, they reveal who we are, because of which it happened in the first place.
Right,
Yeah, because of which it happened in the first place. Through our life, there are phases where we've abandoned ourselves. We've tolerated more than what we could have. We've just embraced pain because someone told us it's okay to embrace pain,
right,
right? Someone told us it's okay to stay silent. It's better to stay silent than to stand up for yourself, because okay, there's less chaos with that. So there was a part of us because of which we first of all ended up in that situation. The crack happened because of a gap. I always tell women the crack happened because of a gap.
right.
So, so when you look at the cracks and the patterns and the brokenness, you're going to be able to identify the gap. You're going to be able to break those illusions that you've lived with and conditioned yourself for so many years. Zero
Right,
boundaries, zero self-respect, low self-worth, and still you're struggling with high ambition and high aim because, yeah, we are exposed to social media, so we want an ideal life. We see that ideal life is normal, and then we look at ourselves and we want to achieve that with the same set, with the same gap that landed us in that brokenness or that crack without fixing it. And
right,
that's where the pain is.
right. So this pain continues until we don't heal it. So जैसे कि आपने बोला कि healing without reliving trauma. Can you just explain how the Kitsuki way helps women to rebuild themselves with their emotional triggers?
Yes. So, a lot of times as a therapist, when women come up, even not just women, and when anybody comes and, you want to understand and you want to grow, a lot of times I see people start with, why did it happen? Mere saath kyun hua? Like even when I do my Akashic readings, what did I do in my past birth because of which this happened?
Right.
Okay. Now, you can do umpteen number of, repetitions of the trauma. You can relive it in your head over and over again. You can think why it happened. You can go into micro analysis, but reliving your trauma is not going to get you out of it unless
Right.
you're doing it with a very clear objective. And the objective is very important when you're as a psychotherapist or as a psychiatrist, as a healer. It's very important to be very objective about it, even when you're on your own healing journey, to understand why you're visiting that trauma again. Are you visiting it because you're becoming used to that pattern of pain and that's become your comfort zone? Or are you doing it so that you can and get out of it? Are you analyzing the gap? Yes. Yeah. Judy, are you there?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I lost. So, as I was saying, uh, the Kintsugi way helps you to where we is a process where we combine, energy work, psychotherapy, and mindset techniques, and a little bit of understanding our occult, our strengths and challenges that we are born with, the karmic strengths and challenges that we are born with. And with a combination of all of these three, without having to go back to that trauma and relive the pain over and over again, which is not actually helping, to be
Right.
able to surpass that stage and come out clear with a new game plan on how to fill that gap, how to fill that crack, how to rebuild yourself, how to restructure a new life based on where you want to go with a lot of clarity. So that is where there is a difference because uh, with the combination of understanding the energy, the karmic strengths, weaknesses, challenges you're born uh, with the numbers you're born with the psychotherapy techniques, the mindset work, and preparing your body, preparing your energy to be able to hold that and execute what you have planned so that you can come out of it faster. This combination is what helps uh, women or my clients get out of that painful, process or painful journey faster. I would say relatively. It's not quick. It's not magic. It's not like like people want quick healing. There's nothing called quick healing. It's a process. It's going to take its time. But yes, when you combine mindset, energy, and your karmic energy, your karmic strengths and weaknesses, you will be able to do it a little more. You're better shielded and you're better prepared, so you can get out of it a little more stronger, faster. That's what I believe.
Absolute. The blend of so many things which you described uh, is definitely going to help क्योंकि only one thing healing one part is not enough. So blend of everything works wonders as I could see you have been helping so many people across. So in your experience, what are the three emotional cracks that every woman carry and how can we help them to turn on these cracks into the strengths?
First, a lot of women have self worth problems, self worth related wounds. Lot of wounds. I would say inner child wounds that they've been carrying on since their childhood.
Right.
It could have been through subtle experiences or some major traumatic experience they have had in their in their life, in their experience, in their relationships. Second is, apart from self-worth wounds, a lot of women have abandonment issues.
True. Absolutely true.
abandonment issues or fear of abandonment, which can make them do multiple things which they would not have done otherwise, coming from a space of emotional neglect. Now, this could have been through their childhood or their teens or a pattern, or sometimes it's even an ancestral pattern, something that, or a family pattern that is coming from one generation to another, just pure emotional neglect. And that hollowness or loneliness or emptiness or a feeling of or fear of abandonment rather takes them to a very vulnerable space and keeps them in that very vulnerable space that makes them do things they may not want to do otherwise, that makes them or that takes them to a point where they allow others to hurt them or take them to a place of pain, hollowness, loneliness, people pleasing behavior that is toxic actually.
Right.
um, and the third, which I see more in women than men, is guilt.
Yes.
My
Right.
God, we women
So
can
much of
hold
guilt.
so much guilt. मतलब सामने वाला भी कुछ गलत करे तो भी हम सोचे कि मैंने कुछ किया होगा उसको ट्रिगर करने के लिए.
हाँ हाँ. Right.
Because somewhere we are, I don't know why we are wired or we are groomed like that to some extent, because we are observing other women and we are observing other women do something that's not working right, but then there's no other way out, right? We know no better, and there is no uh, sort of, a lot of women tell me that there is no ideal. So I ask them, who's an ideal woman for you? Who do you who inspires you? तो they say left right देखो तो कोई है ही नहीं, सब लोग ही स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं तो किससे सीखे?
Right.
So guilt is somewhere also induced by the family, by the system, by the culture, by the women around. Women instill guilt in other women.
कंडीशनिंग जो है वो बचपन से ही दी जाती है दैट हाउ यू हैव टू बिहेव, नेवर से नो टू एनीवन, ऑलवेज बी इन अ सर्विस मोड. तो यस, इन सब से ही सारे इमोशनल ट्रिगर्स होते हैं बिकॉज समवेयर देन दे फील लेफ्ट आउट, unheard, which leads to their emotional trauma actually.
Yeah, and service बहुत अच्छी चीज है, हाँ. I mean, it's beautiful to do service. Please, by all means, we must serve, but let's serve with clarity of how much and why we are doing it.
Right.
Because if you're serving because someone said it's your job to serve, then it's not really serving.
हाँ मतलब we have seen Indian women even though they can't, means they, even if they are not well, even if they cannot do, but still they will be happy to do things for others, happy to do, and because they can't say no, they are not able to set the boundaries, and eventually they have to suffer with that.
Yes, that's why I say जब आप अपने अपने वो cracks देखोगे और जो gaps हैं, because of which those cracks happen, you will be able to identify why you're where you are. And when you understand why you're where you are, and you start working on those aspects of your life, you're going to heal much faster, because that's when you want to heal. That's where you have got clarity and you have defined the new version of yourself, not
Right.
by any external motivator telling you what to do.
Delna ji, आपने, you have helped 5,000 women heal. So, what is the most unforgettable transformation that you have witnessed through healing mastery?
Unforgettable बहुत सारे हैं. I from cancer cases to women in very toxic relationship. There are times where I've been on the phone, holding the phone. When a woman is being beaten up, telling her to call her neighbors or get help from someone. To just safeguard herself somehow, and get out along with the child. So बहुत सारे हैं. There have been cases where extreme emotions come up and the person may feel suicidal, multiple thoughts of or suicidal tendencies. But what I feel is the most what really touched me was a mother's desire to live for her child. So I had this I had this lady, and she came to me. It was stage 3 cancer. I saw her reports. Uh, she had a teenage kid, and the determination with which, क्योंकि उनके आगे पीछे कोई नहीं था. She was a single mom. She lost the husband, and just that fire. She said, "I want to live. You tell me what I have to do so I can bounce back because मैं चली जाऊंगी तो मेरी बेटी के लिए कोई नहीं है. So I will do whatever the hell you tell me to do." And Julie, the way she worked with me, of course, I mean, it was her fire that, sort of also, sometimes as a coach, also you have that moment as a healer where, more than your fire, it is the person's, the student's fire to learn, to grasp, and to bounce back faster.
Right.
So, she had a work schedule, uska chemotherapy was on. And she had a work schedule where she would start clock in her time at 7 a.m. and end a little early so she could go to her chemo sessions and do the other take care of her body the way she was asked to by the doctors, and take care of her teenage daughter when she would come back from school. So she would keep the rest of the day. It was a very packed schedule. And I said, "मैं कहाँ? 1.5 hours of Reiki." And she said, "I want to do it with you. I will not do it alone. I will sit every day with you and do it, the way you guide me." So she learned the entire course, and after which, and my course is quite a heavy module. It's a lot of, it is 20 hours of just processes and discussions around understanding the body, understanding the way the body interacts, understanding your energy, understanding what each chakra is trying to tell you, what's happening when a certain when you start feeling something in a certain manner. So after completing that entire 20-hour module and practicing every process that I asked her to do to the T, I would tell her, "You have to do it this much, these many times." She would do it, and she would do it, and she would send me a text saying, "I have done this, and this is my experience after trying it on my own."
Wow.
And after that, 5 a.m. Juhi, with that kind of packed schedule and that pain in her body, 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. without a break, continuously for 21 days. So 20 days of the course, and then another 21 days, around, I can say around 40 to 45 days without a break, with that dedication. And after that, doing what she had to do based on whatever I guided her to. Uh, and the magic moment or the happy moment was, she went through her chemo, she went through her surgery and stuff, and her processes. And after a couple of months, she comes back to me and says, "You know what? I'm sending you my report. It's clean."
Wow.
And I think that maybe as a mom, I connected with it so much, because that desire of a mother to be there for the daughter. I think there is no fire that can compare to that. There is no. It was an immensely beautiful journey, even not just for her, even for me. Like I was wowed by her determination.
The, I mean, such women are truly, truly inspiration for everyone because uh, being a mother itself is means you are so attached that you are ready to do anything for your kid. And healing own self with that fire is a true dedication. So, absolutely, thank you so much for sharing this incident. It may inspire all the women listening that you can heal yourself with dedication in you. So,
Absolutely.
Delna ji, why do high achieving women uh, silently collapse inside? And how does this approach help them rebuild without any shame?
Okay. Uh, so nowadays, with all the grooming and the social media, you see a lot of women A lot of women who are extremely strong women inside out, they are like rock solid strong. And that is how we've sort of over a period of time conditioned ourselves to be. हम feminine भी है, हमको पूरा feminine भी करना है, and yet we want to be that masculine energy
Then-
also, and we want to maximize in
Right,
both, हाँ? कहीं पे
right,
compromise नहीं चले, right? So I see, I see a lot of these, senior management, the, women leaders or women entrepreneurs are trying to be the strong, rock solid pillars. जिनके कंधों पे पूरा family का, everybody is connected. They are holding everything together. They are holding everyone together, and also because of that strong masculinity, they are not willing to receive support. मैं सबको समेट के रखूंगी, सबको बांध के रखूंगी, सबके लिए सब कुछ मैनेज कर रही, शी इज दैट मल्टीटास्कर, शी इज मैनेजिंग थिंग्स फॉर हर हस्बैंड, शी हैज टू टेक केयर ऑफ एवरीथिंग, शुड गो क्लॉकवर्क फॉर हर चिल्ड्रन, everything should go clockwork in her profession, and the home should be spick and span clean, everything has to be managed. And
right,
when it comes to asking for support, नहीं, in-laws हैं क्यों मांगना, नहीं friends हैं नहीं मिलेगा, okay, that deep somewhere I think that a sense of accomplishment plus that fear of not getting support,
right.
that fear of not getting support, and hence not wanting to reach out because uh, बार बार सपोर्ट मांग के, that's what they say, मैम इतनी बार सपोर्ट मांग के फिर ठोकर खाने से अच्छा है कि हम खुद ही कर ले, आई कैन रैप
खुद
इट
ही
अप
कर
फास्टर.
ली. Right,
So, and this is a pattern, Juhi. This is a tendency in high achieving women. You see them, uh, they want to be there everywhere. They want to do everything. They want, and they feel that they genuinely feel कि अगर मैं नहीं करूँगी तो ठीक से नहीं होगा. I'm irreplaceable. That part, not in the good sense, not in the positive sense, but it's just that if I don't do it, no one will do it. And since no one else is doing it, I have to step up and do it.
right.
Right? And
I
that pressure, like a rubber band, you're being pulled in every direction. That pressure, how much are you going to be able to sustain? So
we
one day you're going to collapse and fall flat. It's going to be difficult.
right,
And then when this starts happening for women, uh, a lot of you will notice a lot of the women who are going through this will resonate. It starts with one thing. It starts with one area of life collapsing. You're juggling, juggling, juggling. एक collapse होगा, say for example profession collapse hua, or relationship with one child has started to get ruffled, or a relationship with the spouse, one area will start, and then starts the journey. You're juggling and balancing and juggling and balancing, you're trying to give more here now to fix this, something else is going to fall off. You're going to now
right,
try to balance this, something else is going to fall off. And this is what happens with women who are very strong internally, and they are doing a lot, they are being there, giving their 1001%, and yet they're going through this phase where it's just never enough because uh, they've never been taught to take a breath, they've never been taught to listen to their bodies, they've never been taught to take an emotional break, get emotional rest, reset themselves energetically,
right.
right? So
They are
I
not even
think
aware what their body requires, how they have to handle their emotions. But they are in the mode of doing, 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 giving, 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 and then
because we are taught we can't get a break, right? We are taught there is no physical break, there is no emotional break, there is no spiritual reset break time, right? And that thought that I have to juggle everything, I have to manage everything, or break bhi nahi milega, and I have to live like that. That is the that it's a belief, it's a pattern that they are not able to break through. So even when they are not well, they want to. I've seen women, they are not well, they want to sit on the bed when the doctor has asked them to rest. यहाँ से रेकी चल रही है, and they're on laptop. They want to juggle with that maid. Okay, you want to answer, and
right,
then they'll call the maid. They will get the maid to do something. Then they will call the child. They will, अरे 2 दिन आपके बच्चे को छोड़ दो, वो कर लेगा. Trust your upbringing and your grooming. Your children are also not ignorant, right? They will pick up, they will understand. And I think this is the time when you take those breaks, as a strong woman, no matter how strong you are, when you take that break and you take a step back, I think
Right.
people step up and support you. And it's just that you have to have that courage. And I think that the thought of having that courage itself is very how do I say, uncomfortable for a lot of women, and
Correct.
that's why
Yes.
they go through the breakdown.
Absolutely true. And I could see so many women juggling with all lots of things without even realizing that they need to focus on themselves.
Absolutely.
And one more question. What does it truly mean to turn emotional cracks into the gold in real life? Could you help us walk through this? How can every woman begin this journey today?
Yeah, I think when you're looking at it, when you're understanding, the first thing is to take a hard look at yourself and understand what is the reason you landed up there. What is the gap that is leading to the crack? Because if unless you fix the gap, you're not going to be able to fill the crack. So first thing is the clarity, understanding. Then the next step I would feel is stability. As any therapist would suggest, the first stage is the stabilizing stage, where you, as an individual, start working towards that stability. Uh, it can start with something as simple as breath work, small steps,
Mm,
because anything major you do will feel very overwhelming. So when you notice this, there's a lot of chaos happening. Start with some basic breath work. Start with some basic, maybe, even a kinesthetic activity where you're maybe like a walk or a short jog or a dance or maybe a yoga or a little bit of, some kind of physical movement, whatever you like, 10 minutes a day to just sort of begin with. And the third is any one kind of energy work. It can be as small a shift as just being sitting in silence for 10 to 15 minutes.
right.
I'm not going to say बैठ के आप बहुत सारा journal करो, because already there's chaos in life. You're journaling and it's going to sort of add more. What happens when there's so much already happening in the head and you're journaling.
Yes.
It is very beautiful and it has to be done in a certain manner. It has to be done under some kind of guidance at times. If you want to do it, general journaling is different, but when you're in trauma, the kind of journaling you do is different and should be ideally, that's my belief, it should be done with the help of a coach or a therapist who knows exactly what and how to guide you through the journaling journey. What I would recommend rather is to just sit in silence. अगर आप वो भी नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो just training the mind to just sit tight, even if it is listening to a musical track. I tell women, कुछ भी सुन लो, listen to anything that you want, but just see if you can sit in one place for 5 minutes, with or without
Right.
music, with or without chaos. Okay, starts with small activities, and then I would say any kind of chakra work will help the individual uh, bring back that imbalance. So when the chakras are highly imbalanced, most likely when you're depressed or when you're going through trauma, when you're going through some tragic situation in life or a tough phase of life, and tough phases are long sometimes. So you know that there will be a very strong element of chakra imbalance. आपकी एनर्जी उस वक्त ठीक नहीं होती है.
Right.
Okay. So what I strongly recommend to a lot of women is, of course, you must talk to the therapist and do your, the mindset work that requires to be done. But that is a periodic thing, right? And between the sessions, in between that break, between two sessions, what are you going to do? And I believe that what you're doing and what you're filling up that time, that waiting period, and a lot of women, I'm going to call it the waiting period, and I will explain to you what that means. When we are going through this healing journey and we are in a lot of pain, uh,
Mm.
I see this with a lot of people, or somewhere there's a part of us waiting for something to happen. Huh? And trust me, that wait is, you can keep waiting unless you do your inner work. There is no magical, or fairy wand going to come and, whoosh, put all your troubles away. So, but it takes time for the individual to understand this. एंड कभी कभी ना हमारा एज आई सी इवन न्यूमरोलॉजिकली एस्ट्रोलॉजिकली ऑल्सो अ टाइम ऐसा होता है. देर आर phases of our life which are tough. They're going to be uh, I won't say they are going to be, but they are tough, and sometimes that phase can be long. And what you do in that duration between the 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 fall and the bounce back, that time, what you have done with yourself, that is what really matters. And when I say stabilizing, what I mean to say is the practices or the small rituals that you build on a daily basis. छोटी चीजें हो सकता है. It can be just one glass of water, sipping a
Right.
glass of water slowly. It can be very small, very simple things that you do, but it's the things that you do to sort of work on yourself consistently. That is what I would say. Will build you towards that stability. Energy work is a non-negotiable. I believe personally, it is a non-negotiable because आप कितना भी mindset work करिए, and whatever else you do, if you are not preparing your own body, if you are not working on your own energy, um, very little is going to shift without your body's capacity to hold the changes you want to make or bring in your life. So even your mind work, all the mindset work requires a deep, uh, you know, shift in your energy, balancing of energy, that stability, that groundedness, that calm, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना स्थिर रह पाना
Hmm.
in the middle of the chaos of life when life is happening and there is little you can do about it. How much are you able to just be, and how much you're able to just be and stay grounded and be stable, that much faster or better you're going to be able to find solutions with a stable mind, with stable, grounded energy, with a balanced approach. और जितना कम है उतना आप टर्मोइल में घूमते जाओगे, आप देखिएगा.
Right.
Yes,
Thank you
so
so much.
stability, and then building back, thinking of where you want to go, rewiring yourself, doing the work that requires to be done to take you to where you want to be. And then finally, I believe strengthening yourself to a point where you don't fall again. I won't say you will never fall again, but उसी प्रॉब्लम में फिर से नहीं फंसना है. न्यू प्रॉब्लम इज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी.
Hmm. Thank you so much for sharing this insightful tips, because this is something very basic, but we don't do it. We many are not even aware that the smallest things uh matters a lot. Like you said, sitting in silence, and this is a small thing, but कोई बैठता नहीं है. In the sense, in that chaos, they want to मुझे ये भी करना है, मुझे ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है. So yes, to begin the healing journey, start with small things. क्योंकि अगर हम बोलेंगे कि 1 घंटा बैठना है, तो you will not even sit for 5 minutes. So thank you so much for sharing the smallest things that we can do. And one last question is, if every woman listening could remember just one truth during her lowest moment, what would you want her to hold on close to her heart?
Okay, I would like to I would like to use some of my my guru's words. My Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. He always says, uh, "You're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, and you're not your emotions,
Wow.
and you're not what is happening. You're not even the event. You're not even the result. You're not even the cause." So I just want, all the women who are watching this to remember that when you sit there and you look at your cracks and when you look at the gaps in your life, and when you're wondering where to begin, or will you ever be able to even bounce back or rebuild, I just want to tell you, I promise you, I promise you, you will bounce back because you can. And there is no part of life, the wheel of life is always turning. So अगर time बहुत low चल रहा है तो time चल yes I'm sorry
Yes,
did we lose it.
that's okay then. So thank you so much for today's session. It was really, really insightful, and I think it is going to help each and every woman there to reset themselves through different things that we can do, and then rise again, bounce back again with the much better energy than they are now. So there is nothing that you cannot bounce back to, and every fall is for a reason to make you learn something new. जैसे कि इन्होंने एक इन क्लाइंट का भी शेयर किया एंड हर ओन जर्नी विच इज रियली रियली वेरी इंस्पायरिंग. So thank you so much for today's wonderful session. It's complete pleasure to have you here today and learn so much from you.
Thank you, Julie, for having me on your wonderful show. I'm really, really privileged to be a part of this. And I really hope that we are able to collectively touch many, many, many more lives. And I hope all the lovely women listening, whoever has not subscribed to Julie's show and her channel, I would say please like the episode. If you like this, please subscribe to her channel and do share and do inspire. Because as a woman, when you do share and when you do inspire another, I think that is the biggest service to mankind.
Thank you, Delna ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. You can connect to Delna ma'am. The links will be shared in the description below. You can connect to any of us and do let us know. Share your feedback, comment so that we can come up with more things to serve you in better way. Stay tuned until we meet next week with another beautiful guest. Till then, reset and rise. Thank you.